It is 6:03, and I am calling this meeting to order. Madam City Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Crenshaw,
Present.
Councilmember Camarena,
Present.
Councilmember Marroquin,
Present.
Mayor Potem Mallet,
Present.
Mayor Carter.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Would you please stand? And Councilmember Crenshaw is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Councilmember Camarena is going to lead us in the invocation.
Father God, we thank you for this time of gathering, Lord, that we pray for your wisdom to help us to make decisions that will help your people. Give us wisdom and guidance and unity, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Madam City Attorney, do we have any reports on closed session?
We do not have any reportable action from closed session today, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And thank you to Councilmember Crenshaw and Camarena for doing the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation as well. This is a public meeting. If there is an item on the agenda on which you wish to be heard, you are asked to complete a blue speaker slip and submit it to the city clerk prior to the start of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council are not required to identify themselves. However, this information assists the mayor by ensuring that all persons wishing to address the council are recognized and also assists the city clerk in preparing the city council meeting minutes. When the item is announced and your name is called by the mayor, please step to the podium and state your name for record. Unless the mayor extends the time, there is a 3-minute time limit for each public presentation. If you wish to address the councils concerning any other matters not appearing on the agenda, you may do so during the public meeting portion of the agenda. However, you may not show a visual presentation without reviewing that material. If you do so, you will be considered out of order. We do have one blue slip. Mr. Peter Rodriguez.
Good evening, members of the council and audience. Mr. Sawyer, looking sharp in that suit. Congratulations on your position. Anyway, my public comment, I'm going to direct this to the city manager. City manager and the city attorney is the Form 700. As you know, both of you, Form 700 is a form that these elected officials need to complete and update anytime there's any free gifts, loans, beverages, or any meals they take. And need to be updated once these occasions occur. Now, for a matter of public record, I'm requesting that they be updated, that they be in compliance with the fair political practice, and not so they be not overlooked, because no one here is above the law. That is my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, just to confirm, the Form 700 is filed annually. I think you all remember filling it out by April 1st. The city clerk collects these. She can confirm the fact that all of you have filed theirs and they are up to date. There are occasions on which an amendment to that form will be filed, but in general, the city clerk will also assist you with those if you go and ask her about it.
Thank you. Now we will have a presentation from the Methadone Clinic by the clinic manager and the counseling supervisor for the Medical Treatment Center at 200 South 5th Street.
Hello, council members. Good evening.
Good evening.
Pleasure to see some of you again. Nice to see some of you for the first time. My name is Daniel Plasencia. I am the clinic manager at Medical Treatment Center, the Methadone Clinic here in El Centro. And I'm with our medical director, Dr. Rita Sterrett. And we are here for a presentation regarding a petition that was filled out at the local Circle K store and maybe clear up some of the comments or some of the information stated in the petition and maybe answer some questions or provide some information as far as our treatment and as far as our clinic and the services that we provide. We are a methadone clinic or a narcotic treatment program, which specializes in medication-assisted treatment. Um, Opposed to the petition, we do not have and have never had a needle exchange program. We do work with medications like methadone. We now offer Suboxone and buprenorphine. We are audited by federal, state, and county regulation. And another point in the petition that it's crucial to address is the problem that we work with on a daily basis. The people that are around the clinic, not all of them, if all of them are patients. Maybe one or two of them out there are contributing to the problem, but it's really a major addiction and homeless problem that we have around the clinic. Around the clinic, what we do for a while, since we moved in 2015, was have security staff. They worked on making sure to keep the building clean. Once they were away from the building, then we work in collaboration with law enforcement, who suggested to have some of the no loitering signs, which some of the patients, some of the people were doing before through treatment, education, talking to the patients. Our patients, for the most part, when they are hanging around, loitering, if we talk to them, we address them, talk to them about the problem, they'll move. They'll find other places to be at. They won't really stay and um, find obstacles or reasons to stay. One of the things that we do when we get to the clinic, one of the problems that we've been noticing lately is after hours. When we leave at 3 to when we come in at 5 in the morning and open, that's really where some of the local people that we've talked to, that's where they're pointing out and kind of talking about that's when the problem really gets out of hand. Now, before I forget, we want to give credit to law enforcement and the work that they've done. When we call and there are people that won't respond to reason or won't respond to us trying to talk to them about moving and some of the help we're trying to offer, and the only resort is to calling law enforcement tirelessly. They have been, and we have noticed the ability that they've had pretty much since September of last year. One correlation that we could point to is when the Supreme Court ruled that the sidewalk encampments were not unconstitutional. We started noticing that the problem lingering throughout the night and the morning is getting better. But again, in the morning, when we talk to these people, right now driving here, I had the pass by 6, 7 individuals outside the old post office next to the alley. None of them are patients, not one of them. Now, I'm not violating any of their HIPAA, which gets sensitive when addressing some of the patients because of their HIPAA rights. It's no violation in mentioning that none of the folks there are not our patients. And again, it's just one of the problems that we agree with. It's there. In 2015, when we bought the building and the construction company was helping us remodel the building, they had to sweep the hypodermic needles that were laying around the property. The problem was there in 2015. Now we have unfortunately seen the transition from the needles, the heroin use. Now it's fentanyl. It's still prevalent. It's still opioid addiction. We're still trying to work on it. It's one of the points that when we're asked about moving, we feel that we're exactly in this place that we're supposed to be at when it comes to this problem that has unfortunately affected the community where we're at for decades. Again, it's just unfortunate that our patients are painted with the same brush, sometimes in certain cases justifiably so, but for the most part, and especially with the patients that have 20, 30 years worth of recovery and their lives together, where it's unfair to paint them with the same issues, where on the other hand, they're showing progress and ability to work their way out of the addiction that's so hard to get out of. But again, just a petition and working with the community, just some of the incorrections or some of the mistakes in the petition. Again, like the needle exchange program is just one of the things that we want to highlight and just point out where, again, some of those types of programs we've never worked with, even with our sister clinic in Calexico that opened in 1974. We never once had a needle exchange program. Not to say that we don't agree with some of the information behind it, but just the stigma around it as well. It's just one of the things that we've chosen to work away from it. Again, the problem with needle use, it's not really prevalent right now in opioid addiction. There's mostly smoking the fentanyl for the most part, but it's still an opioid problem, opioid crisis that we're still trying to address. I think that's pretty much it on our end. If you have any questions regarding the petition, regarding the clinic, we'll be happy to answer some questions. We also want to invite anybody that's willing to take a trip. I know some of the members already have. Anybody else that wants to go and learn about the clinic, learn about the treatment, we'll be more than happy to show medical staff, clinical staff with counseling, and medication that, again, we try to help a problem that's really hard to work on.
Thank you, thank you. The goal was to request this from, just open communication. So, we thank you, we thank you. At this time, we'll take public comments to see if anybody has public comments for the methadone clinic. Okay, acting city manager, you have comments?
I'll meet with Daniel here shortly. After this presentation, I'd like to meet with him outside and get his information. I'll follow up with him.
Okay, okay. And then I would like to set a time for our community development staff to set a regular meeting with the clinic as well. Okay. Well,
Madam Mayor, if I
Yes.
may too. Daniel, I appreciate you coming here. I would like to take you up on that as far as the tour and see some of the steps is going. Obviously, if not there, where would this clinic be? And then the spin-off crimes that are associated with drug use. So you have your theft and your vandalism and your trespassing, city ordinances. That closing time was something that I wasn't keyed in on, but that certainly makes sense. That typical area for all this time is close to public transport. And so the one question I do have is, you're a service for the entire county?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And are you like the primary location, and do you have like other office? You mentioned Calexico.
Calexico and ourselves are the only two methadone options in the county, besides private doctors that deal with pain management medication. But when it comes to treating substance use disorder with options like methadone, we are the only two options in the county,
Okay.
Calexico and El Centro.
So I'll reserve the rest of my questions during our meeting, but I appreciate that.
And
Thank you.
at any time, sir, tomorrow, next week, whenever you would like to go to the clinic, we'll be happy to have you.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
you mind,
you.
Mayor, if
And-
I just add another question, similar to that? Just, you're the only option, well, you and Calexico. Do you know what Brawley is planning on putting in? What's the difference?
Some of the variations in the medications that they're looking to open a clinic is Suboxone and buprenorphine.
But it's not
Um,
methadone then?
Not methadone. And again, some of the information I've heard from people like Raimundo, who's working as a director with the clinic opening over there. Some of the stigma also associated with the treatment, they feel it's more steadfast than just having the options that they're already having with behavioral health.
I have another question, just off the top of your head. How many people do you think come from out of El Centro to get to your clinic? Just roughly, half, a third,
10%, 20%,
20% only
10, 25%.
from the rest of the valley?
A quarter. We have the surrounding
all?
communities, Brawley, Westmoreland, Calipat, Hopeville.
All right.
And for the most part, they'll come here. Some of them, it's like Hopeville, they'll find treatment in Calexico, but for the most part, it'll be El Centro.
Thank you. I'm interested,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm interested also, like Mr. Crankshaw, I'm like, in doing a tour or something like that. I'd just like to know more. Thank you.
Please, we would
Thank
love
you.
to have you
Yes,
folks.
yes, it's very informative, yes. We did prepare questions, but the interim city manager is going to talk with you, amongst you with those questions. Then the committee for the homeless task force is Councilmember Marroquin and myself. We're gonna go through those questions with our staff, and then we'll get back to you. So it's just not ending here. We just want the public to know we do have a plan for this. But we thank you. So he's gonna talk to you.
There is a public comment.
Oh, for this, for the.
Yes, on this item.
No, it's in general.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, okay, okay. So interim city manager, sorry, you're gonna speak with him outside?
Yes, I'll
Okay.
follow up with him.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you,
ma'am.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will go back to our public comment. We do have a public comment. Mr. Michael Luena from, what is it? I know I pronounced it wrong. What is it, Sylvia? I-
Mr. Llewellyn,
Come on,
Yeah.
come on up, Michael.
Our-
Come on
our
up.
colleague from the north end.
Yeah,
All right.
the
Well, good
mayor.
evening.
I should say the mayor. Okay, thank you for joining
Well,
us.
thank you for having me. Honorable Mayor, council, staff, and members of the public. I apologize for being here a little bit late. My car broke down on Broadway,
Oh,
and it
wow.
took me a few minutes to get it back up. But thank you nonetheless for allowing me to speak this evening. I know the last few weeks we've had some concerns and even rumors floating around the Imperial Valley regarding Calipatria State Prison. And so I wanted to come here and offer an update and hopefully offer some transparency as well for our community and the surrounding areas. So I've gone ahead, the city's reached out to the governor's office. They have officially stated, since no correspondence, no letter, press briefing, nothing from the governor has specifically specified Calipatria State Prison. They can't guarantee that it won't be us, but they can't guarantee that they're looking at us either. So they were extremely vague in language, but said for us to basically hold on, wait for the governor, and that we'd be notified if any decisions made. I've also had the opportunity to reach out to the congressman's office. As you may know, he's the one that sent the letter to the governor, which sparked this conversation to begin with. I'm hoping to meet with him within the next couple of weeks before the budget revise is announced and passed by the governor. I also went ahead this weekend and had face-to-face with the lieutenant governor, and I'll be meeting with her staff soon, hopefully to see if she could lobby on our behalf in terms of speaking with the governor and his staff. Lastly, I just wanted to personally, of course, thank you once again, but it's during these times of uncertainty that I see members of El Centro and Hopeville and Calexico coming by our side and truly uniting as one valley. It's not Calapat or Brawley or Westmoreland, but the Imperial Valley as a whole. So I wanted to thank Councilwoman Camarena and the mayor for joining our meeting sometime last week, where we had a bunch of the elected officials from Imperial County come and voice our concerns. And lastly, offer you guys with a to-do, essentially. The city of Calipatria is in the middle of writing a letter of support for the cities to sign off on, and we'd love to have your guys' support, whether it be agendized or signed off by the acting city manager. Any support that we would receive from you all is extremely helpful during this time. So thank you once again, Michael Llewellyn, Mayor of Calipatria, and I look forward to having any conversations with you guys in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate you coming out, and we're always here to support you and whatever we can do. And acting city manager will talk about the support letter. Thank you. And we get that to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now for the presentations, Madam City Clerk.
We will reschedule this presentation till the next meeting, June 17th.
Okay, thank you. Now we move on to our consent agenda. Items 3 through 5. May I have a motion and a second to adopt the consent items?
I move to approve.
And I will second.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we move on to our public hearings. The AB 2561 presentation, status of the vacancies and recruitment for the retention effect. This is a public hearing regarding AB 2561, status of the vacancies and recruitments. This is going to be done by Ms. Dulce, our Human Resource Director.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. Like you said, my name is Dulce. I'm the Human Resources Director, and with me I have two analysts, Diana Verdugo and Dora Singh, and they'll be helping me with the presentation tonight, okay? So to give you an overview of AB 2561, this legislative measure, there you go. This legislative measure is aimed to enhance transparency and accountability in addressing staffing shortages in local public sectors. Public sectors can identify necessary changes to policies, procedures, and recruitment policies, activities that may exacerbate staffing challenges. Public sectors can ensure it is actively responding to community needs by being staffed appropriately. Being that high job vacancies impact public service delivery, and additional workload for current employees due to understaffing leads to burnout and increased turnover. So we're trying to prevent. Effective January 1st, 2025, Assembly Bill 2561 requires a public agency to present the status of job position vacancies and recruitment and retention efforts at a public hearing before the agency's governing board at least once per fiscal year before the adoption of the annual budget, which will be presented, I believe, the next meeting. And this is our first time presenting. So after this year, you'll be seeing us every May moving forward. If job vacancies within a single bargaining unit meets or exceeds 20% of the total number of authorized full-time positions, the public agency would need to provide additional reporting information for the high vacancy rate. And I'm happy to inform that the City of El Centro currently maintains vacancies below 20% within each bargaining unit for its authorized full-time positions. We have 5 bargaining units, and we will be going over each one. Okay, so here, hi, good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. I'm
Good
Dora.
evening.
Here we have an overview of the job vacancies as of May
We all have
15th,
it on the
2025,
We don't have it.
grouped by each bargaining unit. First, we have the certified water treatment plant operators, certified wastewater treatment plant.
Excuse us, sorry.
These two computers don't have
The
it.
PowerPoint's in here though, if you want to look in there.
Who doesn't have it?
Mayor Pro Tem Elliott and Councilmember Matakin.
How about now?
No.
Go to item 6, the PowerPoint will be attached.
Yes, they're looking for it.
I've got it.
Now none of us have it. No.
You guys want our unit? Do you want to come down here? Just put it up their packets.
We have it in our packets if it's not going to come back up.
I've got
Yeah,
it.
or there.
We do apologize. You may proceed.
Okay, I'll start from the top.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. So here on this slide, we do have the overview of the job vacancies. This is as of May 15th, 2025, grouped by each bargaining unit here at the City of El Centro. First one is the certified water treatment plant operators, and also certified wastewater treatment plant and certified water distribution operators / sewer unit. We have 32 budgeted full-time positions. Of the 32, we have 3 vacancies, representing a vacancy rate of 9.38%. Next one, we have the general employees unit. We have 102 budgeted full-time positions with 8 vacancies at a rate of 7.84%. Next, we have the Firefighters Association. We have 36 budgeted full-time positions with no vacancies. Next, we have the Police Officers Association, including sergeants and police dispatchers. We have 59 budgeted full-time positions. Of the 59, we have 6 vacancies, giving us 10.17% vacancy rate. Lastly, we have Supervisory, Professional, and Technical Employees Unit. We have 15 full-time budgeted positions with 0 vacancies. In the next slides, we will be showing you a breakdown of the statuses for each bargaining unit with vacancies.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. I will start with reviewing the water wastewater distribution operators unit with that currently has 3 vacancies. I will start with certified water distribution operator sewer 1, recruitment process to begin this month. Certified water distribution operator sewer 2, recruitment process to begin also this month. And wastewater treatment plant shift operators, interviews to be conducted this June. Next, we have the general employees unit with a total of 8 vacancies. I will begin with accountant, vacant due to reorganization of the finance department. Next, community service officers who are currently in background. Street maintenance worker 2, currently accepting applications. Park maintenance worker 1, 2 vacancies. Interviews will be next week. Adult center coordinator, who is currently in background. Equipment mechanic 1, who was hired and sworn in on May 27, 2025.
And lastly, we have the Police Officers Association, including sergeants and police dispatchers. We have police officers with 2 vacancies. 1 is in background. The second one was hired in May 27, 2025. Public safety dispatcher, we have 4 vacancies and all 4 are in background.
As part of the AB 2561 legislative measure, we included this slide to fully present the staffing transparency in its totality. These seasonal hires help deliver vital community programs during the summer months. The recruitment occurs in April and onboarding occurs May 5th through June 5th. The total amount of recreation leaders hired this season were 21, and lifeguards for the aquatic center total to 34, with a grand total of 55 summer seasonal employees. So an additional requirement under AB 2561 is to present our recruitment and retention efforts. And something that we recently implemented is the recruitment management system under NeoGov, and it incorporates government jobs. So NeoGov is a human resources management system with cloud-based modules. We most recently implemented Insight, a NeoGov recruitment and applicant tracking module. Before this implementation, applicants had to submit a paper job application. It had to be mailed in like in the regular US mail, or they had to walk it in. And now they can apply through government jobs wherever they're at, as long as they have the internet active. Government Jobs is an online job board for the public sector. It has thousands of open positions for qualified candidates. It allows applicants to save job applications and check the status of the submission. NeoGov also allows us to update applicants on their application status with automated emails and text, so they never feel we forgot about them. Another great feature is that it allows applicants to schedule interviews and exams without all the back and forth, all to provide a great applicant experience. Some of you have been through it. So another thing that we're using that we're doing right now is a classification for the general group and a total compensation study for all city staff. And this involves analyzing current pay practices by comparing them to industry benchmarks and assessing internal consistency. This evaluation encompasses salaries, benefits, and other compensation elements to identify disparities and areas of improvement. The goal is to complete it in the fall. Benchmarking compensation against industry standards will allow us to offer competitive packages that appeal to high caliber candidates and reduce the turnover. And last, we are currently using under a pilot program that it was born at the police department. So what it is, we have Dora, who only, as of today, because hopefully it changes effective July, is working specifically on the recruitment of fire and police. It's been over, in the last 10 years, they had never been fully staffed on the firefighter side. Right now they are. So we have great results with this pilot program. And on the fire side, on the police department, there's only one vacancy, something that hasn't been seen as well, in the last 10 years. And I have our acting city manager to attest to that. So with that, that concludes our presentation, and I would ask our mayor to open the public hearing.
Thank you, ladies. We appreciate that. I now open the public hearing if there's anyone wishing to speak on this item. Seeing that there is none, we will now close the public hearing, and I will bring it back to the city council for any comments. Colleagues, do you have any comments?
I just have one question. The 55 summer seasonal employees, what, do you have the total like temporary employees that we have, or is that, this is just specific to this?
That's just
Okay.
specific to our seasonal
Thank you.
summers.
Well, I just have a comment. It's just like, and going back to the chart that lists the number of vacancies, and then as you move forward through the presentation, I just want to commend you for being so proactive and already have filled the general employees unit
Yes.
and also the wastewater and water unit, and then also almost at 100% with the public safety unit. So, I commend you for that. That's great. It's fantastic news. And let's hope that the next time we have to give this report, it's all zeros in the vacancy column. Okay, so.
Hopefully.
Let's wish
We
for
will
that,
try.
huh?
All right, ladies, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Well, we thank you, ladies. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion and a second?
I move we accept the recommendation.
Yeah, I will second, please.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, oh, no, you're fine. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have a public comment from Rosa Diaz.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As you know, we are in June, and I'm here to speak a little bit about Imperial Valley Pride and also to provide some information so that we all understand what Imperial Valley Pride is. The Imperial Valley LGBT Resource Center was established in 2015, marking its 10th anniversary this year. The center was created to advocate for services for individuals who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, and transvestites. At that time, the term transgender was not as widely recognized. I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with both transvestites and transsexuals, as each group has its own distinctive needs. Thanks to the efforts of the Imperial Valley LGBT Resource Center, we now have support and services that previously did not exist in Imperial County. Kudos to all of those who have made this possible. The Imperial Valley LGBT Resource Center also brought the first Pride event to Imperial County. The purpose of Imperial Valley Pride was to help bridge the gap between two very popular views, conservatism and diversity. I believe that by having an event that brought those two together, we would find common ground. Imperial Valley Pride has made its mark, and we are happy to be pioneers of that. Our intentions has always been to work with the people, all people. Our motto is to help the community. We work with immigrants, low-income families, all races, all ages, all orientations. We have helped with temporary shelter, utility, rental assistance, counseling support, referrals, transportation, and in many other ways. This year, we rebranded to the Donnelly Community Services Center to be known as a center for all people. Our mission is to invest in the community fairly. Also, to purposefully move away from being included in the radical queer ideology. The queer ideology which discounts or denies biological sex. The queer ideology which believes that there are more than 72 genders, more than 46 sexual orientations, and more than 100 pronouns to be used. The queer ideology which pushes gender transitioning of children, no matter the age, no matter the trauma, the mental illness, the learning disability, or other social factors. The queer ideology which believes that men can get pregnant, that some babies are born rectally, and refuses to see the irrefutable differences between a man and a woman. Must I go on? This ideology has caused this division between the LGBT community, leading to confusion and setting the movement back several decades. What was once a fight for equal rights has now transformed into irrational belief system. Thank you. So I just want to say that Imperial Valley Pride is for residents of Imperial County to come together, to be able to talk about these differences, but also enjoy a time of fellowship. So that is in October, but I know that in June, many people will be, want to be recognized for pride, but I can tell you that our pride is being part of this community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to number 7. This approves the engineer's report regarding the Buena Vista about the landscaping and lighting district. This presentation is done by Ms. Liz, our intern finance director.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Tonight, the item that I have before you is to open the public hearing to approve the engineer's report for Buena Vista Landscaping and Lighting District and authorizing the levy collection of assessments for fiscal year 2025, 2026. So I'm gonna touch items 7, 8, 9, and 10, but we're gonna approve one by one. Yeah. Okay. So as you remind, the Buena Vista, the services that we provide in this community is the annual palm tree pruning, the right-of-way landscaping, rotation of the basin maintenance, irrigation maintenance, and now the new Buena Vista Park, the maintenance. Just the services added to this district for the park is a 2.3 acres park. And we have, it has a basketball court. It has 40 low water use plants, 97 tolerant trees, 2,240 lineal feet of multipurpose trail, and 1.37 acres of low mow turf area. So these are the pictures of the park. And what I'm what I'm proposing, well, the maximum levy for this district is $217.32. And the proposed levy for this district will be $173.02. There's 465 parcels in this district. So the total levy collected for this district will be $80,000. And here you can see on the bottom, we can see like a progressive how the fees are being doing since the district was created in 2008. So right now, the increase is a 17% of what we collected for last fiscal year in 24-25. But you see now the improvements on this district. So it will, like at the park, oh, I'm going back. Okay, I'm sorry. I think it's the other way. Okay, so all the park, we are increasing these services. That's why it's just 17%. Just to remind you that these fees are paid through the property taxes, and the fee is annually, so it's not monthly. So getting into this, if you approve this, we will be collecting $80,000. Our expenditures add up on $117,000. And we will be seeing a deficit of this fiscal year in $34,000, but being our fund balance 36,000, so we'll still have a fund balance of $2,081. So one of the residents of this community called and asked for details of what the expenditures are. So I just gonna, in case if the person is not here or if it's through Zoom, I'm just gonna say that right now, we pay for the maintenance. We have a external contractor to do all the palm trimming and all the surrounding areas. 50% of one person, parks worker two. If this person, 50% is going to be paid through the district, then the other 50% is going to be paid through the general fund. And the salary of this person was allocated per EBU within all the 4 districts. Also, the maintenance of the supplies for the irrigation, the rentals in case that we need extra equipment, the gas, small tools. We do also pay the utilities, the water and electricity. Professional fees. This is for the engineers who prepare our engineer's report. And the administration fees, those are charged by the county for the administration of the district. So if you have no questions, I would like to recommend you open the public hearing to approve the Buena Vista Landscaping and Lighting District Engineer's Report and collection of levy for the fiscal year 25 and 26.
Thank you. At this time, I now open the public hearing if anybody is wishing to speak on this item. Seeing none, I now close the public hearing and I bring it back to the city council for any comments. Seeing none, can we get a motion for a first and a second for approval?
I make a motion that we accept as written.
And I will,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Sylvia. Okay, and I will second.
Thank you.
Okay, now, before you.
Passes 5-0.
I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Before you have, is to open the public hearing to approve the engineer's report for the Legacy Ranch Landscaping and Lighting District and authorizing the levy and collection of assessments for fiscal year 25-26. In this district, These are the services that we provide: lighting maintenance, tree trimming, right-of-way, retention basins. We have 2 parks in this division. And the park maintenance is the tree, vegetation, the playground, pavilion, and park benches. The maximum levy on this district is $644.41, but the proposed levy is $429.20. We have 143 parcels in this district. The proposed levy that we're doing, the 429, is 10% less than what we collect last year. And we were expecting to get revenues for $61,375. The expenditures of this district is $61,426 as well. So we will get, like, we're gonna cut even, and having that, we're gonna just transfer in a fund balance that we have from last year, 10,112. We'll still have, expecting to have the same fund balance for this year. If you see the revenues, it's a little bit different for the total levy, the 61,375, and what I'm showing here on the revenues for projected or forecasted for 2026 is 61,426, is because we allocate interest. So because the fund balance in this fund is too small, we are not expecting to get a lot of interest. We get all the interest and we allocate it through all funds depending of the amount of the balance of the catch, because the catch is so minimal in this. So we are just expecting a few dollars for interest, other than the Buena Vista, because the fund balance was bigger, or the catch, balance. So that's why we allocate more interest on those. So I would like to recommend you open the public hearing to approve the Legacy Ranch Landscaping and Lighting District Engineering Report and collection of levy for the fiscal year 25-26.
Thank you. At this time, I open the public hearing. If anyone is wishing to speak on this item. I close the public hearing and come back to the council for comments.
Just confirming, this is the small district that has taken the brunt of the larger neighborhood,
Yes.
and that this is also the district in which we approved through Measure P for basketball?
Yeah, that's
court?
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct. So that is not going to be paid through the district, but we propose the council adopt or approve that to be built half of the basketball court, and with a cost up to $200,000, and that's going to be funded through Measure P.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The other small, but this going to be repair, is the pergola that needs some repairs. So we are expecting to, what we collect this year, and if it's more, with the balance that we have, the $10,000, we're gonna get through the repair of the pergola that we have in the park.
Oh, thank you for clarity. That answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
At this time, ask for a motion and a second for approval.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, now, the item that I have before you is to open the public hearing to approve the engineer report for the Lotus Ranch Landscape and Lighting District, and authorizing the levy and collection of assessment for fiscal year 25 and 26. This is our newest district. In this district, as you recall, right now, we're doing, the city has been was doing the cleaning and the trimming of the few vegetations that we'll still have. A few months ago, we start,
Oh, did you?
Did we skip town center?
oh, town centers, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I went to before, okay. So I'm gonna start over.
Mm.
The item that I have before you is to open the public hearing to approve the engineering report for the town center landscaping and lighting district and authorizing the levy and collection assessment for the fiscal year 25-26. Okay, so as you recall, this is mostly commercial, and we have some departments over there. So the services that we provide here, the right-of-way, maintenance and landscaping, irrigation maintenance, retention basin, and cleanup of surrounding areas. And right now for the upcoming fiscal year, we don't have any capital improvements in this district. The maximum levy was, if we combine, is $553. The only ones zones showing a difference is Zone 2 and Zone 3. So the maximum levy is for Zone 2 is 143, and we are proposing $133. And for Zone 3, the maximum levy is $138, and we are proposing $128. So it's slightly difference between last year and this year. Combining all four zones, we still have a robust fund balance. We are expecting to collect 36,296 for the coming fiscal year. The expenditures are 45,180. But due to the fund balance that we have been carried forward from prior years at 38,000, we still have been ending at the end of fiscal year 2026 with $28,000. What I would like to recommend, you open the public hearing to approve the Buena Vista Landscaping and Lighting District Engineers Report and collection of levy for the fiscal year of 25 and 26.
It's the El Centro Town Center.
I'm sorry. I would like to recommend you to open the public hearing to approve the El Centro Town Center Landscaping and Lighting District Engineers Report and collection of levy for the fiscal year 25-26.
Thank you. I now open the public hearing if anybody is wishing to speak on this item. Seeing none, I now close the public hearing and I bring it back to the city council for comments. Seeing none, I ask for a motion for a first and a second for approval.
I move to approve. Oh. I'll second.
Thank you. It didn't pop up on our screen.
No. Sorry, there's problems with the computers.
Oh, yes,
There
no,
we go.
that's fine. Thank you. There it is.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, now we going with the
Now.
newest. The item that I have before you is to open the public hearing to approve the engineer's report for the Lotus Ranch Landscaping and Lighting District and authorizing the levy and collection of assessment for fiscal year 25 and 26. The services is the right-of-way, basin area, streetscape landscaping. Well, in the future is gonna be all this, what the district is saying, the paseos and pathway connections, park maintenance, and lighting improvements, street lighting estimates, 143, and park and trail lights. So right now, all this is not being built. We just have a lot of green areas and the lighting that will be responsible. So in this situation, we should have collecting, or when the district was created, it was by ballot approved to get $481, the collection fee started in 2020. But the city has took the maintenance on their own. So our park workers are being doing the maintenance. A few AVUs or units are being built. So right now we want to start levying this district. We haven't started, so should be the historically, when it was approved was 481, and as has been on the resolution, every year the maximum will be in increments. It depends on the CPI. So we have an average of 3.5. So that's the maximum that we show here at the bottom that we have never charged. So not being collected. So right now, the engineer's report is showing that based on this, the maximum levy is $591, and we propose to do the maximum levy this year due to that we haven't collected anything from the prior years. And in this district, there's just 44 parcel at the moment. We're expecting to collect $26,000. We do have some expenditures because we had to contract executive and landscaping. They're doing the maintenance. They're helping us just to be more consistent because we don't have enough personnel and park workers to be consistent with this district. So right now they're doing the job. They go and clean every month, and that's the cost we are paying. We have paid 4 months in this. 4 months in this fiscal year, and we expect for the next year have total expenditures of $12,000. So if we collect the 26,000, if the 591.27 fee is approved, we're expecting to get revenues of 26,000, having an excess of 13,000, and at the end of the fiscal year, our fund balance we show 11,923. If I would like to now recommend you to open the public hearing to approve Lotus Ranch Landscaping and Lighting District Engineers Report and collection of levy for the fiscal year 25-26.
Thank you. I now open the public hearing if anybody is wishing to speak on this item. Seeing none, I now close the public hearing and open it. I will bring it back to the city council for comments.
Just wanted a clarification. I don't know if I misunderstood, Liz, but the maximum levy 591 and the proposed is 591. It's not 571, or am I missing?
No,
571.
no, 591.
591.
571, it will be if we were collecting this fiscal year.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
Yeah.
for the clarification.
yes, no. Yeah, so all the numbers at the bottom, the 481, 497 is just increment for the CPI.
CPI.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
the maximum, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These per household levies on Lotus is the highest because there's so few parcels, they have to split it up for fewer homes.
Well, this is just what the current expenditures,
Oh,
when the
yes.
district is finished or the development, that they finish with all the housing, is the cost is gonna increment, the expenditure is gonna be higher. So we might be, but it's gonna be allocated in between all the EVUs built at the moment. So,
But there'll be more coming, right?
yes,
They're developing it.
yes,
But there's only like 44.
yeah,
there
right now it's just 44. We just
Yeah.
counted, and then all the green areas are not finished. So we're just accounting for what the current expenditures.
Yeah, so
So-
as more homes are built, the per home unit, I mean, the cost should drop.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes,
I'm just curious why that's the most expensive one.
yes. I mean, it's up to the council decide if you wanna adopt or approve the proposed levy, the maximum. But if you feel that you want to choose another amount, we can work with it.
But that's what you're paying. I mean, that's what we're it's costing us to maintain it, right?
Right now, was gonna cost us for fiscal year 26 is 12,466 plus plus the 1,626 that the city is absorbing that cost right now because we haven't collected anything. So it will be around $15,000 that they're gonna cost. And if we do the maximum levy proposed, we will be collecting 26. If you think that it has to be changed, we can do the change.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. Seeing none, may I have a motion and a second to approve this item, please?
I make a motion to adopt as written.
Second. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Ms. Liz. Appreciate
you.
it. At this time, we move to new business. City Vehicle Auction 2025. This presentation is by Mr. Abraham.
Hi, good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. This is an annual, more or less, routine item where we're approving a list of vehicles that are obsolete. Our city code section 2-181 and 2-182 establish a process on how to dispose of property that is no longer needed, specifically vehicles or high-value equipment and things like that somebody else could go online and auction and obtain. So what's in front of you, it's a resolution approving a list as an exhibit A in your packet. The list of vehicles that are no longer needed are either old patrol vehicles or parks vehicles or streets vehicles and so forth. Many of them are very old, from 2006. There's a 1992 Caterpillar in there in the list. There's some other equipment as well. And the vehicles are either in very much need of this of repair, where the repairs are no longer feasible, or they have been crashed and been in an accident where we don't it's not feasible to repair them anymore, but somebody could go out and auction them. We have partnered with Gov Deals. It's a big auctioning company that where we can list the vehicles, and members of the public can go out there and provide a bid. We've used it one time before. I believe is used by other agencies here in the county as well. And we had good success over past vendors that we used for auctioning. So with that, I'm looking for approval of a resolution approving the list of vehicles, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Council, do you have any questions?
Well, item 10, 2013 Chevy 2500 with only 49,000 miles. I'd like to have that beater if I could, but I do want to compliment outstanding work on the equipment. I was looking at the average hours, almost 5,000 hours per equipment. That's amazing. So, but I certainly understand the need to when they've outlived their use. So, no, I agree with it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And yes, so we will be working with Mario to release the link. We do advertise it in social media, so you're welcome to go and bid yourself, same as any other public member.
I was going to ask that. Can we bid? I was
It's
like, well, thank you for that information. That
It'll
was
be on our
next
social
question.
media, and you'll receive it at the same time as everybody else.
Thank you, thank
Free
you.
for all, huh?
May I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 25 through 38?
Yes, I will motion to adopt and approve.
A
The-
second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0.
Now we move on for the approval plans for the Fraser Field Improvement Project. This is, the presentation is by Ms. Adriana Nava, our Community Service Director.
Hello, Honorable Madam Mayor and
Hello.
Council. This item before you is an item you've seen before, but this time it's to approve the plans and specifications so we can go out to bid. Javier is here as well, who's been working diligently on this project. As you know, this facility serves as the home of District 22, our Little League, and features 4 ball fields. The first 2 belong to the city, and the rear fields belong to the elementary school district. And over the years, only minor upgrades have been made to this facility, and many of the core features, including the ball fields, dugouts, backstops, lighting, and scoreboards, are in need of significant improvement. This facility also lacks an ADA accessible walkway connecting to the rear fields, limiting accessibility for all residents. And so we would like to address some of these items. So the scope of work is a little lengthy because there is a lot of work that will be completed. So overall, the goal is to improve accessibility, safety, and user experience. So 2 new batting cages will be constructed in the central area between the 4 ball fields. We're also adding a walkway that will be 6 feet wide, extending from the park's front entrance to the back fields, the ones that front McKinley Elementary. And then new scoreboards will be installed to replace both existing non-functional units on field 1 and 2. All 8 dugouts will be demolished and new ones will be added. New picnic tables and benches will be added near the snack bar area to enhance spectator comfort. And then for fields 3 and 4, 18-foot high backstops will be constructed to ensure spectator safety and improve the facility's aesthetics. And overall, we think these improvements will improve the park's functionality and ensure Fraser Field remains a valued recreational asset in El Centro. We're also replacing the sign at that location, and then a new flagpole will also be installed. The majority of the scope of work, some of it we had thought of, and then we met with the league president as well as the vice president, and then they added certain things in there that they had seen. We also worked on the signage with them on the concept. They're moving into softball as well, and so the new signage also reflects that. The estimated project costs are $660,000, $385,000 are from Measure P, and $277,576 are for CDBG funds. And that's how we're making up this project. And that's pretty much it. If the council so wishes, we recommend to approve the plans and specifications for the ball field and authorize the Community Services Department to solicit bids.
Thank you for that
Yeah.
information. May I have a motion and a second to approve the plans?
I so move.
Second.
Did Mike? Yeah, Mike said.
Thank you.
I do have a question, though. Do they still call the games like, they used to call the games from, it's been a few years since I was in Little League, but they called the games, they had announcers. And so I don't know if they used to be above the snack bar type thing, they'd open up. They don't do that anymore?
No, you can do it if you'd like.
No,
We'll
no.
save you a spot.
I can do it from the tailgate. But I just didn't know if they still did it.
So you're the one, the tailgating, okay.
Motion
Loudspeaker.
passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kidding.
Now we would discuss and related action regarding California Department of Transportation Clean California Grant. And this presentation is also by Miss Adriana Nava.
Nice.
So the Clean California Grant was a culmination of past efforts by this council and previous councils. And so I wanted to give a little background on some of the efforts that have taken place over the last 5 to 8 years. A lot of progress has been achieved, and also there's been a lot of work that's been completed, not just by my department, but then also other city departments, including the police departments, public works, the community development. And so I wanted to add, just to provide context as to why we applied for this grant. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of improvements coming into our downtown, and just to provide a brief background. So we did do 2 rounds of facade improvement programs, and that was 16 commercial properties that were improved. And I think one of the best ones that we have through the facade improvement program was this building that was assisted through round 1. You may recall what it looked like before. It was yellow and maroon, and then we changed it. And I think this building already had a lot of beautiful elements, and so it lended to a much improved corner. And as it relates to public safety measures, during the outreach, there was a lot of information regarding security and surveillance, and the police department completed $47,000 worth of installation of security cameras in the downtown. They completed a community relations unit that focused a lot on downtown outreach. And then we also included a contract with Securitas to have a security guard at the transfer terminal. And so those are things that we've completed. In the past, we didn't have any of these things. So these are things that we are building towards to improve overall the community. And so this is the company. If there's an issue, we receive a security report, and this is sent to PD, myself, and a couple other members of the city. Again, the community relations unit, I know they did a lot of work the last couple of years, and also we're disseminating flyers. And this was, again, established in 2020. I know the community relations, I believe, is still active and also does do a lot of outreach in the community. Additionally, through infrastructure improvements, one of them was improving downtown lighting, and through a highway safety improvement program, this was carried out by engineering, public works. They funded the decorative lighting. And then a couple of years ago, the parking lots were also improved. The city-owned parking lots were improved. So this is an example. You can see the camera, the decorative lights, and throughout the area. And then this is an image of the parking lots that were resurfaced. In total, this goes to show the number of parking lots in the downtown area. Total is about 281 parking spaces when you combine all of the city-owned parking lots. And then we have also done, this is something we'll probably need to go back to, is reinstall the DG. But a couple of years back, we also did, we were asked by many of the merchants to remove some of the trees because they were covering up their businesses. And so we removed many of them and then added vegetation and DG. It's probably time for us to go back to that as well. And then Clean California grant. So in 2023, through our downtown ad hoc committee, we identified this grant opportunity. And so when we are presented with a grant opportunity, there are different projects that we could take on. This one, we considered other projects as well, such as Stark Field, we thought would also be a great candidate, but through the downtown ad hoc committee, they said, you know, we should really pursue funding for the downtown and town square. So this was a really competitive grant application. There was many of us in the city who worked on this grant, and it was very competitive. There was a pool of 230 applicants, and we were one of the successful applicants. There were 42 awardees statewide, and they told us this was the last round, so we were very fortunate. We didn't get to the grant alone. There was a lot of community outreach. As you can see, in April 2023, we did a town hall at the old post office. They voted on the various features they wanted, the community, and based on that, we submitted the grant application. In addition to that, we got some news coverage on what we were proposing, the feedback we were looking towards, and then you can see in the photo in the center, we have some state dignitaries who visited us, our now mayor, our former mayor, receiving the check during the check presentation. And so with this, I will invite Chris. He is the project manager for Core Design Group, and you will see from him his technical expertise, his attention to detail in the renderings. He has worked on many projects, and so I welcome you, Chris.
Hi, everyone. Like Adriana mentioned, my name is Chris McMurray. I'm a project manager at Core Design Group. We're an architecture firm located in San Diego. We do a lot of public work projects. So I would say we're heavy in fire stations. We do a lot of library projects, lifeguard towers. We recently completed a lifeguard training station. So we do a lot of projects for the community, and we feel like that's that's where we thrive, and that's actually where we got our name. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Town Square project, just to give you guys an idea. Like Adriana mentioned, the grant, the goals of the project, and then walk you through the design. So the vision and the goals for the project were really to reduce the amount of waste and debris on Main Street, to beautify the downtown Main Street and Town Square areas together, to improve public spaces for walking and recreation, and to advance equity for the underserved community. So there's a list of activities and events that you see there that occur currently at the Town Square that these improvements will further support. So the goals in more detail just talk about how more about how the grant was determined, what the goals were, and how we would implement our design. So a lot of it is new trash cans that are solar powered. There are new benches, some landscape improvements, as well as some drain improvements to stop trash from getting collected along the drains along the street. So this exhibit that you see here kind of shows the locations of the trash, recycle bins, the new benches that will go in, all of the storm drain inlet protections that will be provided to prevent trash flowing storm drains, as well as a couple locations where we're doing some improvements. So you have an existing gateway into Main Street, right by 4th Street. So we're going to be doing some renovations of that gateway, as well as providing a nice entry gateway on the other side of Main Street. So what you see here is was a rendering of the Main Street Town Square from Main Street. So this has a couple elements pointed out, including the new signage at the marquee, new paint throughout, refinished metal paneling screening to add some decorative features, as well as internally, all of the interior ground surfaces will be replaced. The existing grass will be taken away in lieu of artificial turf with the landscape maintenance, as well as providing additional space for food trucks, for vendor stations, as well as for community. So just a couple additional views of the inside of the town square, showing the capabilities of the space. And additionally, on the backside, so where the current transit center is, looking at the town square, there'll be some improvements, some renovations to the existing parking and reconfiguration of the walkway just outside of the town square to provide a more open area for food trucks to pull up, for more of an event space outside. It kind of unite those two areas. Right now, it kind of feels like the backside is separated from the town square. We're trying to. So a view from the town square above, you can get an idea of the overall size and the various areas where we see programming for food trucks and different areas. We're also looking at some shade options for in the interior of the town square. So you'll see a couple options. And there's many different options. These are what we're currently looking at. One that kind of covers the majority of the turf area, and then half the turf area, providing more flexible space. As I mentioned, you have an existing gateway along Main Street at 4th. So this is what that would look like with our proposed renovations. There's some new signage, some new finishes to the paint, metal panels, as well as replacement lighting fixtures. And the proposed signage will also be on the opposite side of Main Street at 8th Street. We're proposing a new gateway, kind of to kind of unify what the design intent for the downtown is. So this is a design that we work closely with Adriana and her team on, that we feel like really it gives a nice vibe for the downtown area. Signage will be again illuminated, so it'll be easy to tell when you go into the downtown area. It'll be very visible, clear of vehicles, and just provide a nice entryway at the other side. So budget-wise, this is just a snapshot of where we currently are, but we're very far under the budget of what we have allotted for the grant, so we feel very comfortable with where our design currently is. It gives us a lot of room as we move into construction documents out eventually, hopefully, that we feel comfortable that we would remain. And just to touch on the anticipated schedule of this project going forward, we would anticipate beginning construction documents following this meeting, submitting those for approval in August, with bidding to follow. Construction.
I also wanted to add in your staff report, there were also non-infrastructure components. Chris just presented the infrastructure components. There's also the addition of 3 murals at distinct locations in the amount of 45,000. Security services for a 12-month period after the construction of the location in order to establish it and deter some of the issues that we anticipate. And then hosting of downtown special events in the amount of $70,000. When we did a lot of the outreach, many of the merchants and the community wanted us to host additional events at that particular location. And so in addition to our current budget, we augmented for the grant in the amount of $70,000 so that we could do that. So events like the ice cream social for future years, we could host at that location. And so the other one that we had hosted in the past was a Dia de los Muertos event. There's other events that we could host as well. And then we were going to ask council, I believe, on the 7th Street.
Yeah, so so on the 7th Street signage, we're actually open to, we have some options, on the Main Street side. We kind of have the signage to say that this is downtown Centro. But on the back side, we kind of are willing to, leave that open for whatever that signage wants to be, whether we want to say El Centro, downtown, town square. That's really open. And so, we're willing to look at options for what that potentially could be.
And we're here to answer any questions from the council regarding the concept and any other issues that you may foresee for this project.
When would you need to know as far as the option of what we're thinking to put in that area?
So for us, the concept that we have presented is what we have presented to our grant, the awarding agency, which was Caltrans. So when we submit a grant application, we do the public outreach, and then as part of that, we integrate it into the grant application. So while we can look at site furnishings, lighting, those types of specific things, the general concept is already mandated through our agreement with Caltrans.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think, Madam Mayor, if you were speaking to just the options in terms of signage, I think
Yes.
as long as we were to get options before we around the time we start construction, we can still
Okay.
implement whatever that verbiage needs to be
Oh, great.
during the construction period.
Okay, thank you, and thank you both for a wonderful presentation. Now, colleagues, you have something to say?
Yeah, I have a question. So, just based on your renderings, your design, for some reason, I was under the impression that this would be fully enclosed with gating or with, like maybe wrought iron, more decorative type, because as you're aware, we do currently have issues down there with loitering, lingering, and so on. And I thought that this would be an enclosed space.
We could enclose it, but the way we proposed it to the granting agency, because we are a public agency, and so once you fence off a public facility, you restrict access. And so restricting access as a public entity is a bit of a challenge. So we can look at that if that is the desire of the council to fence the facility. But we did say that in the grant application that it was to remain open for use by the public. And so that is something they were restrictive more on, like you're charging for events or things like that because you are receiving public dollars. But if a fence is desired, we can certainly go in that route and ask our awarding agency.
In the past, IID has partnered with downtown projects and stuff like that. I was looking at the lighting, and of course, I can see column lights and string lights, but to do the courtyard, the overhead, is there anything other than that, or we'd be depending upon for that when you have a big event? Especially in our summer where we have a lot of the insects that like to be right there. And then the bollards, I saw them on the one side. I would imagine that it might be on the others as well, because we have a lot of vehicles that even with the bollards that we have, try to fit through there.
Yes, that's something we wanted to address. We are doing removable bollards for that reason. If somebody needs to use them, go through, we can remove them. But we encountered a situation with our current bollards where they weren't removable, and it did pose some issues just because we then had holes in the area. And so that's something that Chris is working on removable bollards. And I don't know if you want to elaborate,
Yeah.
Chris.
So as you get in this image, you can actually see on the bottom right-hand corner where we've reworked some of the parking and the sidewalk area. We've added a little driveway apron for food trucks to be able to drive into that area.
Correct.
And so we have 3 removable bollards right there, at the driveway apron, so essentially no vehicles can pass that. And then off image on the bottom left, so you see it. Not really visible in this image, but kind of behind to the right, there's another set of movable bollards there right along the curb line. So if any vehicle were to try to get up adjacent to the pedestrian ramps, it would again stop. And then looking at the top left corner, the entry that's off of Main Street, there's some removable bollards right off.
Yeah, and I do like the idea that because we have seen a lot of the efforts that we've done to beautify the city, over a period of time be demised a bit. So even in an ordinance of closing that on a hourly basis, like after 10 p.m. or I don't know, because especially with turf there, I think it'll look beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just want to continue to look beautiful. So but I do understand needing to be open, but maybe we can put hours on it.
Okay,
Operation.
that's something we can certainly look at. I think with the budget that we have, if the desire is to gate the area, we can look at decorative screening that would allow us to enclose it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, may I have a motion and a second to approve the design presented by Core Designs Group?
I will motion to approve the design. I think this is exciting.
And I'll second.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to discuss the necessary action regarding the appointments to the Personal Appeals Board to fill 3 vacancies. I know that Lizzie Cardenas and Angie Pena have asked to be reappointed. If that be so by the council, there will be 1 position open, and we have 2 people who have submitted applications for them, Gerard Sweet and Rosalind Guerrero. So this is up for discussion. If we want to reappoint the 2 that were there and add 1 of them, which one would you prefer? Or how would you, this goes to the council now.
What? Go ahead.
So I am in favor of keeping the 2 or reappointing the 2 existing, and also consider Rosalind Guerrero because of her experience. I know her personally, and I know I can attest to her experience and her knowledge of municipal laws and HR laws and so on. She worked for the city of Calexico for quite a few years, for many years actually. So that is what I propose.
Oh, you have
I also wanted to, I looked at all 4 applications because we were only provided with 2. And then we initially got the next two, and I looked at them, and I do share Sylvia's recommendation for Rosalind Guerrero to be added on. And looking at the two incumbents, Miss Gulp, what's her name? Liz?
Cardenas.
Also had experience in this field where the other incumbent did not. And so I think it's also important to be able to rotate and give other people opportunities because be able to get as many people involved in the community as possible. And that way there's different views and different opinions that come in. So that's my position. So I would state to have Ms. Guerrero, Mr. Sweet, and Ms. Gardenas.
Councilmember Crenshaw.
First of all, I would imagine that from a standpoint of just reappointing, that's certainly part of the selection as we're doing. We could reappoint or select.
Yes, or select. It's up to the council.
First of all, I like to thank all of the applicants because this is a position that's really not any fun. So but I don't know any of the applicants, so I'll yield to those who do.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Elliott.
Same thing. I do appreciate people that volunteer, obviously,
Yes.
for these boards and doing what they do. But if there's been someone there for a good deal of time and others are applying, I feel like giving them a little help, I mean, go to an opportunity as well. I don't feel like it's like a competition or balancing, but I just feel like it'd be good something to give someone an opportunity to participate, a new face and some new ideas, and go along with that. I actually agree with Councilmember Camarena.
With that being said, we have a 2-1 so far, and so now this opens it up to
And,
you
you
and
know,
I, Mike, which
Madam
way?
Mayor, may I also, state something?
Yes.
I too am in favor of providing opportunity to other applicants and so on, but the nature of this particular board is what I'm concerned about, because it's the Personnel Appeals Board. So that's why I feel that it's important that the person that we appoint has experience in HR matters or either working with in that capacity, so that is why, I would recommend, that we appoint people who have knowledge and experience in HR because of the nature of this particular board. Okay. I too, because I've been in that position where I had, prior to coming on board with the council, I had applied to serve on others and never given the opportunity, it's just like, and so, that's why I am too in favor of giving other people the opportunity. But this particular one just concerns me a little bit, and I feel that we should have people who have experience in dealing with personnel matters.
Didn't you state that one of the incumbents?
Yeah, and I was just going to clarify that. I'm just going based on the applications. One of the incumbents has had no HR experience. And so neither does one of the applicants. So that's why I felt comfortable with keeping Liz and or recommending keeping her, because her application was very detailed as to her knowledge and her ability. And then when I read Ms. Guerrero's, hers was very detailed and very outstanding
Yes,
regarding
it
that.
was.
Yeah.
So my thought was just, since neither one of the other ones, they're applicants and seeking to serve, really showed that strong HR knowledge. And one had 4 years service already, that it's a good opportunity to give someone else that opportunity, because based on the application, she didn't have it either, but now she has the experience of having been appointed and in being able to give that same opportunity to someone else to also be appointed, and maybe, hopefully serve a whole full term, but then be able to be looked at again. So that was the reasoning why I said it. The other two, there's no doubt that they're very well versed, and I'm sure as they've helped, in my mind, the other the incumbent, that they could also help anyone else that would come with them. Because it appears that's what happened here, because based only on the application, there's no experience listed in HR.
So with that being said, since we have two in favor of Lizzie and Rosalind and Jared, if we can get a motion on a first and a second and vote from there and see if that one goes. If not, then we'll go with Councilmember Montekene's suggestion.
I'll move to nominate, to reappoint the incumbent, Liz, and then also nominate Ms. Guerrero and Mr. Sweet.
I'll second that.
Madam City Clerk. It'll be work day tomorrow, Mike.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, now we move on to our task force reports. Councilmember Crankshaw, would you like to start, please?
Sure. Well, it was a busy couple weeks for us, and certainly a busy couple weeks for our staff. So again, as all of us, I know we always do, thank you for all that you have done, because it's very noticeable to the public, and I truly believe that is what success looks like. So thank you. I had the opportunity to go to the Adult Center art exhibit. It was actually interesting. I wasn't sure I was
Very
gonna.
nice. Mhm.
I did find myself. I'm not sure about the singing, but the art was phenomenal, and I really. And then I was kind of disappointed. Actually, some of it wasn't even for sale. I was looking to buy a piece of the,
You should have offered.
I didn't know we could. Very important this weekend was during our holiday, the memorial ceremony at Buckland Park. I thought was extremely classy ceremony, and I love the idea. I had an opportunity this week to talk to two department heads. I'm hoping to talk to others, but Angel in planning and development and Adriana in community service, and during that plans for the veteran wall, further and some renditions of that. I think it's a great. I really can throw myself behind that project. So I can't wait for that to continue. Fortunate enough to go to Victor Leon, our new mechanic, and Ethan Proctor, our new police officer. Their swearing in was last week, and just to see new employees with no clue what's coming at them, but with all the desire in the world, I'll take it all in from there. And then I was the first time I ever obviously worked it, but the ice cream social, I was blown away. How much gallons of ice cream did we go through? Pardon me?
Wow.
Look, some of our staffs, they got Popeye forearms now from trying to peel that.
The chocolate was just
Seriously.
like
Oh, yeah.
extremely hard.
And I'll have to say to whoever my counsel was on the other side, sending your folks to get our chocolate.
Come on now. Thank you.
I'm not sure that you ran out. You just were.
That was Marty.
Yeah, you sent them all our way. So
His
Mike and I
arm
were
was
like,
hurting.
Well, we had it going on. So you know what a great event. It just really was. And then the final thing that I had the opportunity to go to is the Eagle Scout for Frank Aceves Jr. In Imperial on Saturday. It's crazy what they do and the badges and the story, and then just hearing the whole scout thing. I never did any of that stuff, but I thought it was pretty awesome. So it was neat because we had a lot of the council there, and actually I believe next time they'll be here.
yes,
They're gonna
yes,
come
they're
in
coming
for-
to the
yeah.
June 17th meeting.
So no, I truly, and then it looks like that this next 2 weeks is going to be also lots of events. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Camarena.
Okay, well, first I wanted to start by congratulating Carla Mason for her appointment as I'm going to say this right, elected vice chair of SARA Cooperative Library System. And congratulations, I'm sure it's well earned. I tell you, ever since I've gone to that trip too with the library, see how, the library along with all of you have so much to do and how you serve our residents. So congratulations, Carla, for what you do there and how you continue to serve, especially right now, our busy months, right, that start in with our families and our children and stuff and the activities. And basically just to mirror what Councilmember Crankshaw said, I wanted to say that one of the most touching events I went to was the Southwest High School Cadet Memorial Service that they had for our fallen soldiers. I'm sorry. And I cried. It was a beautiful ceremony. And I just like, man, I wish all our high schoolers could come and see this.
Yes.
It was amazing. And I'm planning, God willing, to be there next year again and take some people with me. And just to see those youth. Your son was there, right? Yes, and it was amazing, everything. And I just loved it. So hopefully we can get more of our school-age children involved into the history of our nation and what pride we have about the opportunities that we have to exhibit, to utilize the freedoms we have. I think it's important that they see what we have, what our nation's about, and the people that serve, because those that actually serve and pay the ultimate price is something that we could never pay them back for. That's why we're where we're at today and doing what we do. It's because of the men and women that left and paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. And I want to say that Mayor Carter and Adriana and Angel and myself made a trip to Yuma. Mayor Carter made an appointment with that mayor, and that was a very good trip. The ideas, just trying not to reinvent the wheel, but get more ideas to be able to see what we can do with our downtown. The best part for me, you guys know I love children as much as Mayor Carter does, and seeing that children's museum and just trying to envision that in our city here, and the different little areas that you had that were actually sponsored by some of their businesses. So let's say if it was an ice cream parlor, they went and made a little mini ice cream parlor in there so the children could play, and they even had sensory sections and so forth, and they had animals in there. So that it was amazing, and I pray that one day we're able to bring that to fruition here for El Centro. And just want to say, the ice cream social, thank you guys so much. The people were so excited. I know we had a couple of competitions going on at the same time. I think one was at the Aquatic Center too. So, both events, just the ability to be able to have events available for people to pick where they want to go is amazing, because there used to be none. And then now you guys just bring these ideas out and bring those families out And so thank you, everybody. And I hope it just continues to be more of a tradition every year as we keep going. I'm so glad, Adriana, to hear that you guys have more of that budget money for these events. So that's really going to help us too. So I appreciate that. And just talk about the, see about where we go as far as the drone show for the 4th of July celebration. So we just got an email on that. Well, yes, so we'll move forward on that. Mayor Carter will be taking that. That's all I have. Thank you all so much. I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, thank you. Councilmember Marroquin.
So first, I'd like to commend Abraham and all of his public works staff and the engineering staff for your public works display
yeah.
or your expo at the library. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was, I have to say, some of the little giveaways that you had at the tables were kind of cute and funny.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I'm not gonna go into detail, but, thank you so much, for that. And also for bringing awareness to the community about what it is that you do. And, some actually displaying the pictures and everything really gives the community a visual of all of the things that you do, that you come to the rescue for, such as the problem that we had with water today at the library and so on. So again, thank you, Mr. Abraham Campos and all of your team. And then later that morning, we had a Community Enhancement Task Force meeting. And, we also discussed different projects around town. And one of them is the Veterans Wall at Buckland Park. So, hopefully we'll have some additions to that coming soon. Then, I also serve as the alternate city council commissioner on LAFCO. And so this past week, or the last meeting that we had on the 22nd, Mr. Michael Llewellyn, who's the mayor of Calapat, could not attend, so I filled in for him. So I was actually a commissioner. And also I want to also announce that LAFCO has an opening for an alternate community member. They're accepting applications through Monday, June the 9th. And I believe the application is available on their website, but we really do need someone, to serve as that alternate member to fill in when one of the commissioners is not available. Or actually, the community commissioner is not available. So anybody that's interested in the local area formation commission and all of what it does, please visit their website or contact their local office for more information, because they're actively seeking an alternate member to represent the community. And then we also had a special hospital board meeting. We were all at the Memorial Day ceremony, which is always a touching and memorable event. I'm really sorry to say that I missed Danny Parmo's farewell little get-together that we had here. I mixed up my days, and I thought it was on Wednesday, and it was actually on Tuesday, and I didn't realize it until that evening. And so one thing that Councilmember Camarena stated during your visit to Yuma, your dream might just come true, because the space that used to house the library over behind the existing library is a space that we are in collaboration with ICOE to actually make that space into a children's museum. So, it's just like, I know things take time, but that is something that's already in the works, and they're going to occupy that space, and hopefully within maybe a year or two, we may have a children's museum in the city of El Centro. So I think that pretty much covers all of our activities. I too was at the ice cream social for a little while, and so I always have to hit the shaved ice. This is like, I thought I'll leave the ice cream to the community, and I went and got a shaved ice instead. So and again, thanks to all of the staff for the Parks and Recreation team, to Mr. Gus Ibarra for being the MC of the evening. So it's like, and so to Adriana and all of her team for all of the wonderful events that you organize for our community. Let me tell you, they're very much appreciated, and it shows by the attendance that we have at those events. People look forward to having an evening, an outing, and just do something different.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Millett.
Yes, so I obviously attended a lot of the same events. The public workshop expo was great, and we saw the video here that was really compelling. And so I was talking to Frank Pacheco that he should take this like to schools and start recruiting kids, early on. And so he does it. There was some kids there, a couple of buses that were there, but they have career days. And so he's thinking about that to get on maybe more calendars, because these kids, they see the testimonies of these, if you're watching that video, you're thinking, yeah, I'd like to do that. And they get really inspired. I mean, it's just something to plant the seeds for these kids. I thought that was great, Abram. So thank you for all the displays that were there. And then on May 22, we had a special ECRMC meeting in lieu of the regular Monday was going to be Memorial Day. And just report that things seem to be going well. There's no issues that we know of, problem, so we're just thankful that the hospital is on the right track, moving the right direction. We feel really good about it. When we talk to the staff, things seem to be all good. And I'm very, very thankful for that as well. Just for an update, just so you haven't, and it hasn't still, because there's still there's this mountain, Betsy's not here, but there's this mountain of legal work that has to be done, agreements and arrangements and contracts, and it takes a long time. So that's where they are right now, and it's still going smooth, thank the Lord. Then, again, with Councilmember Camarena, the Southwest High School has a cadet program, and I guess the El Centro High School, CUHS, Central High School has a police academy. But at cadets, and in the Southwest has a cadet academy. So they both got academies, but what they did, taking advantage of celebrating Memorial Day, it was really powerful. They took advantage of this. They were all dressed out, acting like professionals, and like really young, responsible men and women. It was very, very impressive. And the somberness that they brought to Memorial Day that really, I think, affected them. It's very inspiring to see young people, stepping up and acting like really young, responsible adults. It was really powerful. So we're very thankful for that. So then on our Monday memorial celebration at the park, we have a really big percentage of veterans from this valley that we need to keep representing when we have these events, because a large percentage, before they come to this event here at the park, the veterans go out to the cemetery, and there's a huge portion of the cemetery that has flags all over it where just veterans, right there in our cemetery. Then there's a bunch of other plots where they have family plots, and they have flags on them for that day. It's very powerful to see how many veterans we have from Imperial Valley that have served and are buried at our cemetery. So our Memorial Day, that was very powerful as well. So thank for everyone that helped put that on as well, our staff there. Then or swear in with Ethan Proctor and Victor the mechanic. I looked at his fingernails. I couldn't believe how clean. My fingernails are dirtier than his, and he's a mechanic. I couldn't believe it. So, and then Ethan, so they're all El Centro, they're both El Centro guys. So Ethan is grown up here and he's in the academy. And I asked him if he got beat up yet. He said yes. He's still happy he's still gung ho. So that is really great to have someone local step up and take a job here. That's very, very powerful. Then the ice cream social back on Friday was really a huge success. And Gus and your team, man, you guys went all out to do so much work and preparation. So thank you, making it a big hit for a lot of people, a lot of kids. That was the best part. See all these kids show up, looking for free ice cream. That was really, really
And
great.
the rain.
And in the rain. That was really great.
Fire department.
Some adults in the audience were, in for the rain too. Won't say who. So it was great. And then again, this over the weekend, this Saturday, this Eagle Scout event that most of us went to with this young man that's going to come here. Again, another great display of young people, young men. They're scouts, Boy Scouts. So the young men that are being trained, not just how to tie knots and, put up tents and do canoes, but trained in character. It's such a high degree. It's very encouraging to see this. Very few scouts. This is Imperial and El Centro combined. There's probably 15 of them in the room. It's not a big organization. The 40, 30, I think, is the scout number, and their group, whatever it is. But to see, and this young man that we're going to see next in
Yes,
2 weeks,
17.
he did this Eagle Scout. This is the highest, level you can reach in Boy Scouts. And most, it's like 100 steps. And there's only about 5% of Boy Scouts that ever get there, that ever make that. And he did it before he got to high school. He did it in 8th grade. He's an 8th grader, graduated. This is very impressive for young men to step up like this. It was just very impressive. And then I just want to say, today is day 2. Yesterday was Pentecost or Shavuot, day 1 for people in Israel, the Jews in Israel at Shavuot, and then for today is the day for the rest of the Jews all over the world, Shavuot. It's Pentecost, 50 days, and all that. So I just want to say that I'm impressed that I don't think we've had. There's maybe one person or two that I can think of that rail against the Jews, but I think that, our freedom, our country, our respect for other nations, especially Israel, with the ability to protect their own borders, I think that anti-Semitism is at a minimum here, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very thankful for that we should be able to protect all people here. So just thank you again for all of these events and all that's taking place.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I don't want to bore you, so I echo everything that my colleagues talked about because I was at those events plus some. I stay so busy, so I will not even get into it. But what I do want to do is thank the fire department because I asked the kids, there was a lot of kids that came out. Their first thing, it was a tie between the free ice cream and the rain on Maine. They had so much fun. And I tell everybody this all the time. If you ever want to know the truth, have a conversation with a child because they'll tell you the truth. Okay. So, I was just chuckling to myself listening to their responses because they were like, oh yeah, my cousins, they went to the event at the aquatic center and they had to pay $5. And I told them I got free ice cream and I got to get wet. And it was for free. I was like, oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. But you just listen to kids because they'll tell you. I just have a field day with them. But I do want to thank you to all of the staff. Very phenomenal. I want to thank everybody for what they do. Abraham, your committee today, that was just excellent how you get our library back up and going. And I do want to thank the staff for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. This is definitely for the children. It's what we can do to help the children. So thank the staff who helped out and the people and Councilmember Councilmember Camarena and Mayor Pro Tem Elliott. They came out and did the flag salute and the prayer that day. So it was very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now moving on to the mayor's mentions. The downtown survey ends tomorrow. Don't miss this opportunity to express your ideas, concerns, and suggestions to help shape the future of our downtown. The survey link is available on our website. The downtown town hall meeting, we invite everyone out to join us at 9 a.m. June 10th at the Old Post Office Pavilion to help update on the city projects on our downtown area. This opportunity is to also express your ideas. The results of the downtown survey will also be released at the downtown meeting. So please come out and join us. Whoa, this is going to be nice. Our summer reading program starts. The El Centro Library's reading program has been released. It's for this summer. Registration is next week and spots are filling up fast. Don't wait to register. You can register at the library. Call 760-337-4565 for more information. And we do want to congratulate Ms. Mason again. That's a big accomplishment. I know Councilmember Camarena mentioned it, but we do thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's very nice, very nice. We honor you, yes. Then we have our mobile recreation program, Rockstar Rec on Wheels. That is a tongue twister. Who tried to get me? I'm proud to announce our Rockstar Rec on Wheels, program by our Parks and Recreation Division that will bring free activities to your neighborhood parks across the city later this month through December. Look on our social media for more information. We look forward to that. That's going to be very nice. And we will be advertising it as we have our council meetings to let the public know. And I think that's it. I yield to our acting city manager, Mr. Sawyer.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as your acting city manager. It's my honor and pleasure to do so. I will tell you that it makes it very easy when we have a group of department heads like you have sitting in the audience today. To work along with them as a peer and now as the acting city manager is my honor and privilege. They do a tremendous job for the city, as you mentioned in your shout outs a few minutes ago. I could talk for a long time about them. I will talk about a few of them, but I will not embarrass all of them. So I had the opportunity to attend the Memorial Day observation, or the observance. I'm sorry about that. I will tell you the amount of work that goes into a event like that and downtown has been talked about and talked about and talked about, but it is no small feat. I also attended the ice cream social. I will not call out which council members were cheating and dancing to get people over at their booths, but that did occur. That was the first thing I noticed as I walked up. There was one booth that was busier than the other.
We was moving though. I was dancing and dipping.
But props to the DJ because the music was on point.
Yes, DJ was good.
Just some great stuff going on. And, I want to recognize Gus. Gus is at all the events.
Yes.
As soon as, thank you. There was a mention about how much ice cream was served. I walked over to the table where Sylvia Marroquin, our council member, was sitting at with her mother, and my son had sat down to do some of the little treats and everything that they had there, the little projects. And I see Gus pull up in a van. I mean, I've never seen a van delivery of ice cream. This man lifted 5-gallon jugs of ice cream out, and him and his staff were trying to stuff them into the freezer that they almost had. I offered to sit on it to help them, but they told me no. But I don't know whether to call you the master of all ceremonies or the Wizard of Oz because you're the man behind the curtain. But, thank you for the work that you and everybody does.
Thank you.
Adrian,
Thank
you
you.
have a wonderful staff. Abraham, you and Angel, all the events you guys put on are just a tremendous benefit to the city and our community. So thank you for that. A few things I just want to bring up. We have a graduation for Central, Union, and Southwest High Schools on Wednesday night. It is a very touching ceremony for us. We will have a large contingency at the Central Union High School graduation where our fallen officer, Efren Cornell's daughter, graduates this year. So we will be there tomorrow in honor of him and in his place to the best of our abilities to be alongside the family. So if you hear about a large contingency of law enforcement, that is we will have law enforcement at Southwest as well, but we're going to pay special tribute to our fallen officer and honor his memories to the best of our ability. For those of you that do not know, we have 2 individuals in the Law Enforcement Academy at IVC. They graduate on Thursday night. And of importance is our acting chief of police, Kelly Brown, is the guest speaker that night.
I'm heckling you out there.
So that's a great honor for him to be asked to be the guest speaker at that event. And then just lastly, as a reminder, our Explorer graduation, our Explorer program, a lot of them are fed to us through the 2 academies at both the high schools, both the Law Academy and the Military Academy at Southwest. And their graduation is going to be this Friday night at Calvary Chapel at 6 p.m. Just want to remind council about that and invite members of the department heads and staff that want to attend that. Other than that, I will promptly be quiet so we can go home. But thank you very much for everything.
Thank you. And with that being said, to the best city in the Imperial Valley, this meeting is adjourned.